group of cold case researchers is claiming that the long-missing Teamsters boss Jimmy Hoffa may be buried at the site of the old Milwaukee County Stadium in Wisconsin. According to Fox News, the Casebreakers group says Hoffa may be buried next to the current Milwaukee Brewers Stadium, American Family Field, under the old, now demolished, Milwaukee County Stadium's third baseline. American Family Field is the current home of the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team. In 2013, federal authorities dug up a field in suburban Detroit after a mobster's tip that Hoffa was buried there, according to NBC News, but they came up empty-handed. Hoffa, the powerful labor union boss, disappeared in 1975 in Detroit. His disappearance is suspected to have a connection to the Italian mafia and was the subject of a Netflix movie, The Irishman. A list of a dozen possible suspects emerged in a memo authored by the FBI case agent investigating Hoffa's disappearance in 1976. It's known as the Hoffa's memo. Many searches to find Hoffa's body over the years have failed, including at a landfill in Jersey City, according to NBC News. According to the Detroit Free Press, another story purports that Hoffa was buried at Giants Stadium. The Casebreakers are made up of journalists, former cops, and military investigators who have volunteered their time. They previously identified a man as a suspect in the infamous Zodiac killer case. Here's what you need to know. The team claims the possible Milwaukee gravesite of Jimmy Hoffa was excavated, backfilled. The Casebreakers site contains a post about Hoffa and the alleged gravesite but doesn't reveal the location. Heavy has contacted the group for more information. A deathbed confession note and independent sources in 3 states led the Casebreakers, CBs, to this suspected burial spot of labor leader Jimmy Hoffa, the page reads. A geophysicist with ground-penetrating radar made 3 rolling passes over the remote location, which vanishes at 5 feet, because GPR can't penetrate the clay layer. The researchers claim an earth scientist determined that the old Milwaukee County Stadium site appears to have been hurriedly excavated and backfilled. Fox News reported of the Milwaukee County Stadium theory. The alleged burial site now sits just outside the fence of a Little League stadium, Hellfair Field, that was built in 2002 in the middle of the parking lot that replaced the old stadium. The network reported that the Casebreakers say a cadaver dog got a hit at the scene. The team is now communicating with federal authorities about the information, Fox News reported. Hoffa vanished after meeting 2 reputed mob figures at a Detroit area restaurant. A 2004 Associated Press article reported that Hoffa disappeared from the parking lot of a Detroit restaurant while on his way to a meeting with Anthony Provenzano, a New Jersey Teamsters boss, and Anthony Giacalone, a Detroit mobster. A dying police sergeant told his niece about an old playing card with the location. The Casebreakers say the Casebreakers site says the big break came through a deputy whose name is given only as Michelle and who had a favorite uncle, who had been in law enforcement and was a retired police sergeant. Old documents, photographs, and witnesses have convinced the volunteer investigators that her role model relative had secretly helped a notorious mafia leader case, kidnap, murder and bury Hoffa, the page says. It says that Michelle first learned of this in 1996, shortly before he died. He showed her an ace of spades playing card with the word, Hoffa, written on the top, the date and the burial spot. "If something happens to me, you'll know what to do," he told her, according to the Casebreakers website. The website says she told an old boyfriend, Jim, who later joined the Casebreakers team and convinced her to show the card to the team. The website says the team tracked down elderly witnesses and determined that his remains were moved. With the help of a historian, satellite imagery analysis photos and a geophysicist's GPR, the CBs believe they have found the card's exact burial site, the site says. According to Fox News, they believe that is in Milwaukee. Read next. Matthew Perry's cause of death.